It's been a long time since I've done one of these kinds of videos. It really has. Last time I did it was for the first movie, wasn't it? October 27th, 2023. Don't ask me why I know that. Here's my Blu-ray of the first movie. I still got it. Why would I get rid of it? So, I got done seeing Five Nights at Freddy's 2. This video I will talk spoilers. So if you want to know whether or not if it's worth seeing, I'll let you know when the spoilers come in. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'll let you know. But I will talk about the things that I liked about the movie and the problems that I had. Because, hey, I'm not just a person that's gonna watch a movie and say, that was the greatest thing I've ever seen. Oh, so good, so good. I'm not gonna be that kind of person. I am critical when it comes to certain movies, and I will say, I'll say this. I like bad movies. I've said it in the past. And I liked the first Five Nights at Freddy's movie. So I think they kind of work hand in hand there. So, and I did like the second one. I did like it. Better than the first movie for sure. But when I looked this morning, I just pulled it up just recently, or just getting out of the movie. I will put the screenshot on the screen, and oh my god, the critics fucking hate this movie. I feel like it's a little bit undeserving to just give it a 12 on Rotten Tomatoes, like a 12. Like they're acting like it's the worst thing ever. Like honestly, and I remember hearing, yes, some of the parts in the movie are mainly due to the fact that they involved lore. They did involve some of the really convoluted lore from the for the Five Nights at Freddy's games. And yes, the games are very complicated at times, and they do include some of that stuff in the movie. So, and the first movie didn't really do that. It was more the second movie that does it, because the second movie is entirely written by Scott Cawthon, who did not write the first movie. He partially wrote it. In fact, let me look at the back of the Blu-ray. Screenplay by Scott Cawthon, Seth Cudback, and Emma Tammy. So yeah, 3 people wrote the script for the first movie. No wonder why the dialogue was pretty bad on the first movie. There's things that make this movie a step up from the first movie, but when it comes to scares, the first movie's not scary. Like if you've seen my movie review for the first movie, I did say that the first movie's not scary at all. It's like they went from on a level of 1 to 10, they went from step 1 up to 2. That's literally what it feels like. This movie's not scary. But there are scenes that were better than the first movie, and it definitely did give me goosebumps up my arm. But there was things that I know a lot of people are gonna hate in this movie. Like I can see that the critics already hate this movie because it's a video game movie. Like a lot of people are gonna have problems with it. You're trying to adapt a video game series, like like there's gonna be the fans that are gonna they're gonna correct you on something. They're gonna be like, you did that wrong. You did that wrong. You did that wrong. But also some of the reviews I heard online, like there was a couple of them that said the movie was boring. I'm gonna say this: I don't think the movie's boring at all. In fact, it's a fairly short movie. It's not like you're gonna get the people that are gonna be like, "The bring body." Now they're fucking talking again. Puppet. It's gonna be people like that. Oh, the fucking talking again. It's gonna be those people. There's gonna be. It's no doubt about it. The people that find the movie boring are probably just people that have memories and like no, that wouldn't make any sense if I said that. The people that can't sit through it are the people who have an attention span of goldfish. Really, I almost said memory loss. What am I thinking, Dory? Um, or the guy from Memento, Guy Pearce's character. Um, but honestly though, honestly, a lot of people, I can only imagine you're probably gonna feel like the guy from Memento, just because of the fact that so much shit happens, so much involved in the lore that you're gonna forget like one thing, and then you're gonna be like, what? So there's things that you're gonna like, and then there's things that you're not gonna like. And when it comes to the movie, there's some parts in this movie that I had problems with. And there's some parts that, like, there was a couple parts in the movie where I was genuinely like, really? Is that necessary? Did you really have to do that for the movie? There's a couple parts in there, trust me. There are a couple parts. But then there's parts in the movie where I was like, oh, yes, this is exactly what I wanted from the first movie. Something you cheaped out on. Honestly, though, this movie would have been way better if they would have went full R rated. Because this movie does so much to just, it's just so thin. It's like the first movie was a very thin movie too. I mean, the plot of the second movie is not that great. Like the plot of the first movie wasn't that great either. But I mean, the reason why I like the first movie is just, I mean, I watch it because I think that the cupcake kills are really fucking stupid at times. In fact, I laugh my ass off every single time I see a fucking cupcake. Basically, you can tell that somebody in a green outfit, is just going. And it's during the one particular scene where Mike is getting attacked near the end of the first movie. You, if you've seen the movie, then you probably know exactly the part I'm talking about. It's the part with the taser. All right, that part makes me laugh every single time I watch it. And this movie, I'm gonna say straight up, the fans of the game are gonna like this, most of them. But the critics are gonna be the ones hating this movie because this movie's more fan servicey than anything. It's really more fan service. I mean, I'm gonna start talking spoilers, all right? Because I want to tell you, Circus Baby's in this movie during one scene. So, and that's not the only thing that you're gonna see in this movie. You are not going to just see like a couple things. Like you get the Wizards, which look absolutely fucking amazing. You see the toy animatronics look absolutely fucking great. And I almost forgot that Matt Pat was actually voicing Toy Bonnie. I did not even recognize him. I really didn't. I didn't even know that was him. Like I honestly, it sounded a lot like Chica. It sounded a lot like Megan Fox was doing two roles. It really did. I was not expecting that. It sounded so much like that. Oh man, there's one part where Toy Bonnie does talk, and it's when he's talking to a little girl, and it's I was not expecting it to sound like Megan Fox a little bit because Megan Fox does the voice of Toy Chica in the movie, which is a bit strange, but honestly, it's kind of fitting if you watch the movie and you know the voice of Toy Chica from the games. Kind of fitting, kinda. Um, but yeah, so I'm gonna start like doing the whole. I'm gonna start doing a synopsis of the movie. So one of the things I was not expecting in the theater, which I'm gonna tell you this, I went on the opening night screening where I was able to get this big ass fucking poster. Like this is big. It's fucking big. Oh my god, I don't even know where to. I can't put that up on my walls. It's gonna take up like a quarter of the wall. It's fucking big. I'm not kidding. It is fucking big. I have right here. I have this drink cup. I wasn't able to get the popcorn buckets. I felt like everybody was laughing in my face because literally they sold out as soon as I got there, and I got there an hour early. So I got this one though. I got this metal one. That's the best I could get, sadly. But I got that poster. The poster comes with it. So because it came with the screening, they almost pulled a fast one on me. Because I went to the theater and they had the posters, but they were like, "Oh, we just ran out of posters," and I was like, "Motherfucker!" And I go to grab. I already ordered a pizza, which I'm gonna tell you this: they do give away pizza boxes when you go to AMC. I have them. It's just in the car right now because after all, I didn't feel like bringing them in right now. So Yeah, those are out in the car. But they did give away these special pizza boxes, and if you go to AMC, it's not one of the flatbread ones like the first movie had. It had like real Five Nights at Freddy's popcorn, oh, pizza boxes. You wouldn't get a box of popcorn, would you, at a movie theater? Um, but yeah, got that big ass poster right there. I got the cup, the bucket, and I went to Newbury Comics and got myself Michael Jackson off the wall. Hell yeah, an album I don't have. So nice. But yeah, let's get down to business. All right. So the movie starts completely unexpectedly. So there's a little thing right before the opening logos start where it starts showing like this. It's like the back part of the of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, and then you see William Afton come walking in, and he goes over to a microphone, and he starts talking into the microphone as the studio logos are going on, and then the title card, like right before anything even starts, and then it says 1982. And then it shows Freddy Fazbear's Pizza in its prime. Like everything going on, like everybody's having fun, everybody's having a great fucking time. And then we get to see Charlotte Emily sitting on the floor next to the trapdoor where the puppet comes out, the marionette. And Vanessa comes over because apparently they're both best friends. And she's like, "You feeling down? Why don't you come over here, have a slice of birthday cake for, I forgot who the fuck it is." And then she does go over there, but when she does, she notices one of the kids getting lured into the back of the place by William Afton, the Spring Bonnie suit. So she goes over to follow, but first she tries to get the parents' attentions. They're not paying attention. They're like, "Shoot, kid, get the fuck out of here." And then she takes it upon herself. Vanessa warns her. She goes into the back part, and we actually see William Afton in, it looks like a kitchen, and he's like washing his hands or something like that. You don't see his face. You just see the back of him. She finds like the body of the kid. It's like he's laying there on the ground, stiff like a fish. He must have been knocked out. And she goes over to pick up his body and leave, and William Afton sees her. But the thing is, though, she thinks he already left, but he actually went around the corner. So he starts going after her. She can barely even hold the fucking kid. And she's walking down the hallway, and I'm gonna say this: when as soon as you see this movie in the theaters, it's fucking loud. Like when you hear William Afton's step in the Spring Bonnie suit, every single step he makes is fucking loud. Oh my goodness. I was literally getting goosebumps up my arm when I heard like every single bang, clunk, every single step he took. And then eventually Charlie ends up on the stage, and she drops to her knees and she screams to get everybody's attention. The kid wakes up, goes over to to his parents, and then she falls through the trap door because when it opens up, she falls, and she falls right into the arms of the puppet. And then the opening credits start. That's the opening scene. That scene single-handedly was probably the best part of the whole movie, honestly. And then it starts showing, okay, so Abby is growing up. She's the thing is though, Vanessa's also still struggling from trauma and stuff like that. She's getting calls from Mike. They're starting to date, and then Abby is like she's at school. She's trying to prepare herself for the science fair, but the teacher, played by Newman from Seinfeld, is a dick. He's an absolute dick. Even one of the kids calls him out on it, and he's like, you're gonna embarrass yourself. You're gonna do all this stuff and stuff like that. I'm Newman. And then he crosses her name off the list, and he basically eliminates her and gives her spot away at the science fair. So, and like as the movie's going on, she ends up like, oh no, crisis and stuff like that. She can't see her friends and stuff. So then she someday, because Mike's been lying to her by saying that the animatronics are broken, a bit ironic, right? well, she goes there to try to fix them, not knowing that they're not there. At least she doesn't see them there. They're probably in the back room. They would just she's just so lazy she doesn't want to go into the back part of the place. Probably because she doesn't want to find a William Afton in a suit, crushed. She doesn't want to see that. So I guess she's just sitting there in the middle of the pizzeria, all destroyed, and she takes the fast talker on the way out, which is this device that has you talking to the actual animatronics. So, and then Vanessa's still having like these nightmares and stuff like that. She tries to confront him because Mike convinces her to confront her nightmares on a date or something like that. He starts talking to her about that. Like, confront your fears, confront your father. There's a whole entire dream sequence. The only dream sequence in this movie. Don't worry, there's not three of them. It's not Five Nights at Vanessa's house. It's not. Don't worry. She has one dream sequence where she sees her father, and it's a scene in the trailer. It's when you see all the doors opening up and William Afton at the end of the hallway. That shot was in the trailer, and that is part of the scene. And he ends up chasing her, where it turns so it turns into when she was a kid. It starts showing her as a kid and stuff like that, and she gets chased by William Afton into the back part of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, where she ends up going behind the clothes and she finds Circus Baby behind the clothes standing there, and then Circus Baby looks at her and she gets pulled out from behind the clothes by William Afton by her neck. And then she this is the part that I can't remember. I don't remember how she gets away, but yeah, that's her nightmare. Um she does shoot him in the nightmare. It's like she turns into the cop adult version of herself, and she shoots William Afton, and he's like, "You'll always be my kid," and stuff like that. And that's how that whole entire dream sequence ends. And as Abby's trying to like prepare for her science fair project, she gets basically talked to on the fast talker, and she reunites with Toy Chica and Toy Freddy, apparently off screen. Toy Freddy off screen, but she's talking to Toy Chica, which you don't know yet, but you'll find out later on in the movie that it's all the toy animatronics and the Wizards are being controlled by Charlotte, who's who's possesses the marionette. So because the marionette, the puppet, can possess anything, and they're all linked together, she can even possess people. That was one of the things that I did not like about this movie, was the possession parts. That was just, if something about it felt wrong to me. Um, but yeah, she goes to she builds this toy thing, this like small little thing. It's shown in the trailer. It's like this clear, transparent thing, like animatronic, and she goes to the science fair, and the science fair teacher sees her, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you actually dropped out. I think you didn't want to, do all this." And then he's just like, "Okay, I'll help you with this," and then he drops it, and he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I guess you're not doing the science fair." So what does she do? She goes back to Freddy's all depressed, and Chica comes in as the science fair project, in which the science fair teacher plays it off as a joke that it's a person in a suit. Ironic. And then Chica follows him into the part of the school where she kills him by crushing his head. And there's like one little funny scene that's kind of unnecessarily funny, but honestly kind of like a comic relief of like Megan Fox doing her voice for the character, I guess, where she's like, "Oh, let's see what's in your head. Oh, it's nothing." And it's meant to make you laugh, I guess. But yeah, she kills the science teacher that's making all the mechanics and stuff like that, and Abby gets the first place award or something like that. And while that's happening, the reason why Chica got to be at the school was because apparently Vanessa gave them, like, the puppet forced forced the puppet basically forced Vanessa to give up the password to unlock the perimeter so that the animatronics can leave the building. So, and Vanessa was really easy to convince because they didn't want her to, she didn't want them to hurt Abby. So she didn't want Charlotte to hurt Abby. And I just remember did forget that part where McKenna Grace and all the others get killed. I did forget that part, but literally it's just okay. So the guy that's revealed to be Michael Afton. Yes, that's him. That's literally him. And he leads them, the paranormal investigators, into the building where, um, so one of them gets killed underwater by the mini puppets. I forgot what they called. I forget, I that's one thing I forgot about this movie. I don't remember what the fucking things are called. The mini marionettes things. Yeah, I think I remember seeing something like that in when I remember watching like videos of Security Breach because I've actually never played Security Breach. It's one of the FNAF games I never played. Um, but I do remember like the service bots. They kind of look similar when all the marionettes were underwater. They pull one of the guys underwater, and there's actually a fair amount of blood. Surprisingly, it doesn't show really anything besides one of the characters, the kid from Final Destination Bloodlines, was in it, and he gets killed by Mangle, who pulls him up into the ceiling and rips him apart limb by limb. And you see, like, it's not really visible that much, but you see limbs just hit the ground through the camera. So the camera hits the floor, and it's kind of like one of those things like you'd see in the 2005 War of the Worlds, where people are just getting zapped and the camera hits the ground. Or I think they did this. I think they did a similar thing in the 1998 Godzilla movie. I can't remember shit about that movie, so I can't tell you 100% for sure. War of the Worlds comes to mind, though. The good one. The one from Steven Spielberg, where Tom Cruise is a shitty father. That one. That one's the good one, to me. And, yeah. So, yeah, that whole entire scene happens. So, and once the perimeter is unlocked in FNAF 2, the animatronics start leaving the building. They all start leaving, and Freddy goes into town to kill people. And Mike arrives at Freddy's. He arrives at the original location after talking to Henry Emily, who he found out the locate where the original location was from a brochure. So, and he gives Henry gives Michael Schmidt gives Mike Schmidt a music box that he made for his daughter a long time ago. So, and that whole thing that whole thing happens um where Henry Emily helps out Mike Schmidt, and that's the literally the only scene you'll get from Skeet Ulrich in this movie. That's the only scene. He's and there's a little quick dialogue that's at the end of the movie in the credits. That's it. That's all you get of Skeet Ulrich in this movie, and he's probably gonna die off screen before the third movie. So yeah, because we'll get to that. I'll tell you about that in a bit. But Mike arrives at the old location. He finds Vanessa, and Vanessa tells him, "Okay, all the animatronics have left the building. We gotta go." And they hear Balloon Boy laughing, his little stupid laugh. I always hated Balloon Boy. That's one a fun fact about me. I always hated Balloon Boy, and I'm so happy that he gets his head ripped off. I'm not kidding. So right when Mike is they find out that they have tracking devices in the animatronics, which is a bit strange because I don't see why this fits into a Five Nights at Freddy's movie, but okay, they have tracking devices. Sweet. I mean, I really would have preferred if they didn't have tracking devices, make it a little bit more scary, but no, they wanted to put tracking devices so it makes it easier for the humans to survive, plot armor. After all, a movie's got to have some plot armor in there. But it's also the scene where you get a little bit of actual gameplay because once Vanessa leaves, Mike is left in the office with the Freddy's mask, no doors, which they call it out on that. And there's a little joke in there like, oh, who built this fucking place? You should know that, Mike Schmidt. You should know that by now. I know that you don't really know much about it, just like a lot of people, a lot of the critics that never played the games, but I mean, after all, you should know that William Afton designed this stupid fucking place. So, yeah. And it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. And he's sitting there, he's going on the computers trying to track all of them. And um that's when he doesn't even notice right away that withered Freddy. Well, because he's trying to tap into all that, the marionette senses that there's senses through Toy Chica that there is a security breach, and there's actually a actual thing that appears on the screen that says security breach. I think that's pretty cool that they threw that in the movie as a little nod. But yeah, she senses that and she possesses the wizards, the the prototypes, and activates all of the wizards. So Withered Freddy is in the office and he catches Mike off guard. And Mike's just trying to like activate everything and he quickly panics, grabs the mask, puts it in front of his face, and Withered Freddy gets fooled. And he starts walking away. And then that's when out of the blue Balloon Boy shows up in a little bit, where after he's going on the computer looking at stuff, Balloon Boy comes over, he gets pissed off at Balloon Boy, he rips his head off. And as soon as he rips his head off, he notices Toy Chica, Toy Freddy, I think, is also there in the hallway, and then Toy Foxy. No, Toy Bonnie. Toy Bonnie. Toy. The fuck am I saying? Withered. They're withereds. They're the withered ones. Fucking stupid. The withered Chica, withered Freddy, and withered Bonnie's in the vent. He shuts the vent, and then he goes onto the computer, pretends to do all this shit and stuff like that. And I also got to charge my phone, so I'm sitting right here. So wire going in. Okay, so back to it. After all, I probably edited this part out. So the thing is, right when the office gets breached, he ends up putting on the mask, fools Toy Chica, fools Toy. I keep fucking that up. Fools Withered Chica, fools Withered Freddy, and Withered Bonnie's just in the vents. He shuts the vents, and Withered Bonnie is not even there after that. And then Toy Foxy isn't fooled, of course, and Mike does get away. So, and while this whole entire thing's happening, Vanessa's trying to track them all down, and then Mangle's on top of the car, crashes the car, smashes through the windshield, smashes the windows, but Vanessa's able to get the car back and running. Okay. But then the car stalls out. Oh yeah. Before that, she does save a couple from Toy Freddy, actually Toy Freddy, not me fucking up this time. It's actually Toy Freddy. She slams the brake and throws Mangle through the window and gets that family to safety. And then she tries to get to Abby because she's like, oh, something's wrong with that, something's wrong at the house and stuff like that. That's where the final one is. They know that she's at the house with Abby, in which Vanessa gets there, and then Abby's possessed by the marionette. Yeah, and then there's this whole entire scene where as soon as they get out there, it's like, oh, a reunion and stuff like that. And then the animatronics break into the house. You see all of the wizards, and you see the toy animatronics and Mangle trying to break into the house. And then another person comes in. It's Michael Afton, the guy, the man's, the son of the man that's behind the slaughter. The son of the man behind the slaughter. Yeah. And yeah, so And then Michael Afton's like, "Oh, hey sis," and then it's like oh, okay, Vanessa Michael Afton. Ah, okay. So, and that was another thing I had a problem with, is that the fact that they involved two Mikes in the movie, like a Michael Afton and a Mike Schmidt. They had to involve two of them. Are you serious? You're really serious? I mean, I would have been happier with the plot twist. Oh, Mike Schmidt is Michael Afton. Ooh, cool. I would have been cool with that. I know it would have been a really, really cheesy plot twist and stuff like that, but I would have been satisfied with that. But instead, we get the plot twist. Oh, it's Michael Afton's here and stuff like that. And now he's here to carry on the legacy, like he even says. He wants to carry on his father's legacy. But then, as he's leaving, he tells the animatronics to crush the people's bones, and then he leaves and he gets knocked out by Mike's friend, who gave Vanessa a ride because her car broke down. And then, because earlier Mike Schmidt went to the other location, he's like, "Oh, I want to recruit the ones from the first movie to help beat the new ones, the Wizards." So then, and just by a miracle, the animatronics in the first movie save the day, and they kill the Wizards and the toy animatronics. They rip them apart, and even the ones from the first movie died because they had a perimeter lock. So yeah, all the animatronics just kill each other, and then oh no and stuff like that. And as Mike Schmidt then blames everything on Vanessa, he's like, "Don't you stay the fuck away from me," and she's like, "Don't go near Abby either." And she tells him before they leave, though, she's like, "Don't let anything happen to Abby," pretty much. And then, like, the puppet's still there. The puppet never died, and then it possesses Vanessa, and that's how the movie ends. Yeah, that's how the movie ends. But there's still a post-credit scene. Technically, no, it's not. It's not a post-credit scene. It's more of a mid-credit scene because it happens halfway through. But I will say this though: for people who want to know, the song, you know exactly what I'm saying. If you're a FNAF fan, you know exactly what I'm saying. They did put "It Seems So Long" by The Living Tombstone in it. They did. They did. So, and then we get on to the mid-credit scene. What happens in the mid-credit scene? So these people breaking in to the original location to steal some things. And they're like, "Well, we want to build a haunted house." What does that mean? FNAF 3, Fazbear Frights. And they end up finding a hidden room where they find something. I wanted this to be the ending. I wanted this to be the ending. I like, despite I wanted it to be a little bit different, but honestly though, it's still fulfilled. The ending was great. And they find something in the back room, just sitting there. Something very realistic. Do I really need to say it? People know exactly what I'm talking about. If you know the games, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Alright, I'll say it. It's fucking Springtrap. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh yeah, and also, it's been so long. That song, they only play like a portion of it. Like it plays up to the line, "The man behind the slaughter," and that's about it. And I that's before the mid credit scene, and then they play the score after that. So yeah, you get a little bit of that song, but I mean, you don't get like the whole thing, just like the first movie did with the song Five Nights at Freddy's by the Living Tombstone. So, and then they play the score, and then there's a audio track that sounds like a tape, like he's putting in a tape, and he's like talking into the tape saying, you're gonna have to hurry up. It's Henry Emily talking. He's like saying to Mike Schmidt, he's like, oh, you gotta hurry up. The marionette's not dead and stuff like that. It's coming for you. It's coming for you right now. And then all of a sudden the tape just completely cuts out, and then that's the movie end. Yep, that's it. And I will say, I mostly enjoyed it, but I think I told you the parts that I didn't really like. Oh yeah, I forgot that there's a part in the movie where Vanessa is at a fitness club and she's on a treadmill, and it's just no, she's on a mechanical bike. She's on a like one of those bikes, fitness bike, and it's just one of the scenes that I didn't really like that scene. I thought it was a stupid scene. So William Afton's there. He's haunting her dreams. Basically, it was before she had that whole nightmare scene, and she's just there, and he's like, faster, 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 and then she panics, goes into the other room, thinks that she gets grabbed by William Afton, which is a scene in the trailer, and then it's revealed it's just one of the people that is there that she's friends with, and she pulls a gun on them and runs out. Didn't feel like it was a necessary scene. It felt like it should not have been in the movie. Like, the movie could have gone from an hour and 44 minutes, turn it to like an hour and 38 minutes maybe. I don't know how long that scene was, but take that scene out. That would have been a great scene to take out, because it didn't feel like it was necessary. The possession scenes, like I said, I was not like the biggest fan of. I honestly felt like those scenes could have been taken out, because despite the fact that they're pretty important scenes when you tell in the movie itself, but I mean, they should not have put that in the script. They should have changed that. That was something that I didn't really feel like it was necessary. I just, there was something about it. It seemed so off to me. It seems so off. I mean, you remember me, Vanessa? And then they have it so they're wearing makeup so they look like the puppet too. That's another thing. Like, I'll say this. I'll praise the practical effects. The practical effects look fucking great, and the CGI sometimes looks a little weird to me, at least. Um, the dialogue is a little bit better than the first movie. I mean, I didn't hear any like cheesy dialogue in the movie. Like, most of the times it was not that bad. I can't remember much cheesy dialogue, like in the theaters where I cringed. I can't remember if there was any parts in the movie where I cringed. Um, Despite whenever Abby talks about her friends, like she's like, my friends, my friends, my friends. I'll say that I cringe. I cringe every single time I see those parts. Whenever she starts talking about her friends, I thought that was a really, really, really cringy part of the film, and I didn't really care much for that when it was in the first and the second movie. I just don't care much for those kinds of scenes where she's just talking like that. Ah, it's to me it's very cringy, because I know they're animatronics, they're machines walking around. I mean, they're possessed by ghosts and stuff like that. And she's basically talking about the ghost children, but still, I mean, it still seems off. Also, I will say though, Springtrap looks fucking great for what I've seen behind a plastic tarp. He still looks fucking great though when they show him. The Wizards, oh, Wizards. Oh, the toy animatronics and the Withers both look great. Easily look great. But the plot could have definitely been better. Could have definitely been better. Also, the biggest thing that's holding this movie back is that it's PG-13. Seriously, they need to, please, please. I hope that at some point they come to their senses and release an unrated version at least, like the Megan movies did. Seriously, fuck. That was something that honestly, that was something that just didn't work for me. The fact that it was PG-13 was just held back by restrictions. Oh, you're gonna make it so some kids can watch it. Seriously, you could have done so much with an R rating. You really could have. Like, I mean, most of the people that know Five Nights at Freddy's were from, like, back in the day, like, people like me, honestly. Like, I remember when the game first came out. I'm 19. So, I mean, yeah. I remember when the game first came out. I was young, but I mean, I still remember it like it was yesterday. So, I mean, that game is basically part of my childhood. That game, I would say horror games like Until Dawn. I would say some other games like I would even say Minecraft is part of my childhood too. Like I love Minecraft. Um I never played much of Call of Duty, but I do remember a couple Call of Duty Black Ops games that I played in the past. So I mean, I guess. But I mean, some of the games of my childhood, I mean, I did always love Five Nights at Freddy's, but at least we got a movie. At least we got one movie. That was probably the reason why a lot of people liked the first movie. Not because of the plot, because the plot was a little but mainly because of the fact that we even got a Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Like, I remember when the first trailer dropped for Five Nights at Freddy's and I saw it and I was like, this is real? I saw it and I did not know what to think. I clicked on it immediately, though. Probably should know that I would. And as soon as I saw Universal Pictures attached to it, I was like, ooh, nice. And then I saw the trailer. I didn't really give a shit about the red eyes, honestly. Not at first, because I couldn't remember the freaking eye colors of the game, so I didn't give a fuck. But I was happy with that first teaser for the first Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Despite it being only like 30 something seconds, I still enjoyed that teaser. But the movie was way better, though, for a movie that's kind of shitty. But I will say, there are problems I have with this movie. There are problems I have with the first movie, but I like the second one more than the first one, for sure. Definitely do. Definitely do. Because that first movie definitely has a lot of problems, though. It really does. Like, the second one does have some problems, but I mean, the first one has way more. I mean that. The first movie has way more problems. And anybody who tries to argue with me, honestly, try to freaking make your point, because you're not going to convince me. You will never convince me to hate this movie whatsoever. I still like it, despite its shitty parts. I mean, hey, I like the shitty Nightmare on Elm Street movie sometimes. So I mean, because I mean, some of the scenes are just really enjoyable, like freaking Freddy pretending to be the Wicked Witch of the East, or freaking puts on a fucking power glove. Now I'm playing with power. Some of the stupid parts like that, it's just fun. It's fun for me. All right. The first 5 minutes of Freddy's movie, I laugh at a couple scenes in the movie, but there's some parts in the second movie that felt unnecessary. Like this one guy that at the restaurant when they're dating, well, dating, where there's just this guy that comes over and just cleans up the crumbs every single time you make a mess. He just like sweeps them. He's like, "What's up? Want a coffee?" But yeah, literally, there's just always that one guy that comes over. Could have been something else instead of coffee. Not that the guy says that in the movie. I just said that right off the spot. But yeah, I mean, that scene was very unnecessary. I mean, I guess it was in there for comic relief, but I mean, it just felt unnecessary. It really did. But I will say though, I did enjoy this movie. I did enjoy it. I do move my rating down for the first movie. I give the first movie like a 5. I'll give the second one about a 7. I'll give it a 7 at the most. Like on the way I rank my like a movie that I've seen, like 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10, 3 out of 10, and 4 out of 10, all are trash. That's what I classify as the trash category. 5 out of 10 and 6 out of 10 I would consider the mediocre trilogy. The mediocre category. And then 7 out of 10 I give the bronze award. So I mean it's basically bare, it's just over the bare minimum. Literally it's just over good. So I mean That's basically how I rank it. So that people don't freak out. I give the movie just over average. It's like there's problems, but I mean I'm not gonna completely hate on it. But otherwise, other rankings I have eight. I would give to platinum because I don't want to. I don't really want to say silver. I think platinum's a lot better of a word. I like platinum more. So and then 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 is gold for me. But I would say that 10 out of 10 is perfect gold. So, yeah. It was something. It was entertaining. I liked it. I liked it. I mean, I'm not going to completely hate on it. All right? You can try to get me to hate on it, but I'm not going to. You won't convince me. Otherwise, that should be the end of my movie review. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, subscribe, and ring the bell to get notified on these videos. And I will say, if you want to see it in theaters, go for it. But I mean, like the FNAF fans, go see it in theaters. But if you're just normal, like people, if you're just a normal person to just see a movie in theaters, probably gonna want to wait till it comes out on streaming or something. But otherwise, thank you so much.